Another big day for earnings this morning. Technology giants Alphabet, Amazon, several automakers, including Ford, Volkswagen, all reporting today. Joining us right now, the Wall Street Journal's chief economic correspondent, John Hilsenrath. And John, Twitter is also expected to report in about 30 minutes or so. What's your take on the earnings season overall? Yesterday, we had a conversation about the fact that the good news is it's going to be up. We're looking at a positive performance, but it's only 0.6%, 0.6% in terms of profit gain on average, John.
Well, you know, my take is that the domestic U.S. economy is looking all right, and the global economy isn't looking very weak. When we talked about this a couple of days ago, we had Caterpillar reporting really weak earnings, but then GM came out and beat. So we have to look today. I'm looking today at the consumer. You know, you mentioned we have some more automaker data coming out, and Amazon is really the big story for me. They're reporting later in the afternoon. And that is really the sign of how of American consumer strength right now. You can't really look at retail sales, the brick and mortar retailers anymore, because so much consumption goes through the goes online these days.
Jeff Bezos is going to be the key speaker today at the New York Economic Club in New York. Kevin, I guess at this point, Amazon, we know, is eating everybody's lunch. But is it a valuation story?
No, it's not a valuation story because they consistently reinvest in their business, so that's why they're growing revenues consistently. And if you look across the board...
So you would buy it here at 822?
Yeah.
I'm talking about rich valuation.
No, because guess what they can do? They can cut costs and they can actually stop reinvesting in their business, and they can make it into a great valuation. They don't have to consistently reinvest, but they're doing that, and it is working. Whether it's Amazon Prime Video, whether it's the music, Alexa, you're starting... Adaptation of their products is going significantly well, and it's turning into more profits and more dollars.
By the way, I own Alexa, and Alexa is like Google that talks. So let's not get crazy about how great the intelligence of Alexa is.
No, but people are buying it and they're liking it, and you can be like, "Hey, Alexa, buy me this cool new
So it's like Siri.
Yes, yes, but she's listening all the time, which is the creepy part.
Yeah, it's super.
What?
Yeah.
I just think
Amazon.
Amazon is a really important proxy for American consumers right now. And let's not forget, you know, we're going into the holiday shopping season. I want to look at what kind of forward guidance they're giving on the fourth quarter and the holiday shopping season. That's going to really set the tone, I think, for the next couple of months.
But John, I think that's a good point, but we have to read through, look what happened to Under Armour. Nike hasn't done well. We're seeing actually the consumer starting to pick and choose because we do have rising healthcare costs, and it's not resonating in the consumer discretionary sector, and that's not doing well. And then you touched base on Caterpillar. Let's go back to GE and some of these other big multinational industrial companies that even gave forward guidance, like Honeywell. I mean, the global growth isn't there, and that's why you're seeing this spur of M&A activity, because they have to buy these earnings and cut costs, because otherwise they're up a creek. So
we should point out Tesla's surprise $22 million profit because of record sales of those very high-priced cars.
And then there we have to look at Ford again today. GM's numbers were pretty good.
Yeah, and one of the issues, though, is supply, right, in terms of autos there. And we get the GDP out on Friday, so that should be something. Financials,
so, Maria, you know, on that
GDP,
GDP number on Friday, I think we're going to get some upside surprises on that. We had some really strong trade numbers out yesterday. And so people are now looking at about 3% growth for the third quarter. They were looking at 2% growth just a few days ago.
What do you think the number is going to be, John? You think there's a surprise? What do you think it's going to be?
Yeah, I think a number of 3% or more wouldn't be out of the question at this point. And after 1% growth in the first half of the year, that's good news for the American economy.
What a coincidence! So we've had 1% and 1.4% all this time, and now here we are,
and then there's an election.
10 days away from an election. We're going to get a 3% number on Friday. Wow.
But the dollar has gotten stronger in the face of that, so it'd be interesting to see how the stronger dollar has been a headwind on the economy and what that plays through.
Thanks, John.
All right,
John
thank you.
Hilsenrath joining us there.